Welcome, Dad Squad. I am Gideon Dave Newell, and this is the Run With My Son weekly live show. Thanks for joining us. Let's start with who are we? Who are we? We are dads who refuse to let the headwinds of life push us off that path of a meaningful, lifelong relationship with our sons. And we do it using heart-to-heart, deliberate chat runs together with our sons. It's a simple secret, but that's what we're up to, and we support one another. And this show is a big piece of that. And I wanted to thank you for joining us here. So today, I wanted to pick up with the story that I began telling you last week about where I came from. And you'll recall that I had been feeling distant and disconnected from my young son, largely due to just an infatuation, a growing reliance that he had on his tablet and his little games and other screen time, the videos that he watched too. But all this technology was sort of standing in the way of where I used to be. And he honestly could stay in that thing for hours if we let him, without even coming up for air. And, I began to feel sort of irrelevant in shaping his thinking and connecting with him. And, that was just a terrible, terrible feeling that I hope no dad ever has to experience. So let me ask here for a second, have any of you ever felt that way? Is that something you can relate to? And if it is, then by all means go ahead, click the like button, the heart button, share this video if you think it can connect with somebody else, another dad that maybe you know. But that's where I was feeling. And just picking up, while I was feeling this, I was one day out on my morning run on a local trail here in my town. I live in suburban Connecticut. Got some great trails. And I saw approaching me in the opposite direction on this trail a grown man, a little more senior than myself, 20, 30 years, perhaps older than I was. And he was running with big smiles, laughing with his 3 grown sons. And the 4 of them together were just having a great time, and they passed me by. And I came to an epiphany. I just had a realization of how amazing it would be to someday be that guy. That is what I want. I want a unified, lifelong, huddle, buddy group with my sons. I don't think it's anything unusual. I think we all want this, right? And go ahead, click like if you agree. But in this moment, an image started to form in my mind. And this is that photo from the future I promised you last week. So let me take a second here and paint this picture for you. Now, I should also say up front that this photo, it doesn't exist. It hasn't been taken yet. Otherwise, I'd be sharing the photo with you, all right? I'd be posting the image here, but picture doesn't exist. No one has taken it yet. It's still off into the future. But this is what it looks like. I can see it just as clearly as any real photograph, because it's in my head, it is real. And it is 4 grown men standing on a mountaintop, the very pinnacle of this mountain. And they are staring off into the 4 cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west, triumphant, having conquered this mountain together, confident, and just unified. And it is me and my 3 grown sons, the 4 of us looking off. All of us healthy, all of us happy, all of us with a full head of hair. Maybe not that last one, but we are unified, and here we are at the height, and man, how amazing it is going to feel in that moment. And that picture, that photo, is the fuel that keeps me going and helps me to do the hard work that it's going to take to get there. And I realize that the training, the running, the actual exercise, that's the easy part. Right? That can be learned, and with effort that can be done. What's going to be difficult is building and maintaining that relationship. And that's what we all need help with. That's what we all need some support for. And that's honestly what we all need, a photo from the future, something to serve as the fuel to motivate us to get there. And so let me stop and ask you guys, let me ask you, Dad Squad, what is your photo from the future? Have you got something in your mind? Or is something beginning to form? Maybe even just in walking together through this thought with me here now. Is there a picture in your mind? If there is, by all means, go ahead and write it out in the comments. Share it with the rest of us, because we want to hear those. But I can assure you this, you need a photo. You need to have a picture, you need to have a mental goal in your head of where you want to be, because that's what's going to sustain us. So anyway, what came next, right? It's great enough to, to have this picture, this dream, but what did I do with it? Yeah, it was a bit nerve-wracking. I got to tell you, I was nervous about approaching my son. A 9-year-old boy. I'm worried about talking to him, and I'll tell you why. Because, as I've already explained, he is, an avid indoorsman, which is a polite way of saying no athlete, right? He's a video game athlete, and I worried that approaching him with something like this was going to make me the bad guy, that he would grumble and complain and mope. I don't want to go off and do that. It's time away from the things I want. I don't know what I was thinking. But I had fear. I had real fear. But you know what? I went ahead and I leapt. Wisely or not, I didn't waste time, analyzing and scripting and all sorts of things. But I just approached him. I think it was a Friday night. And just asked him, "Hey, Wyland, would you like to join with me tomorrow for a run? Just come with me, just you and me, all by yourself." And shockingly, to my surprise, he leapt at the offer. I mean, it was like a light went off, because here he was getting what he craved most: one-on-one time with Daddy, and doing a grown-up activity at that. He was going to actually go do what Daddy does all the time, several times a week. He's going to get to be out there running. And did I mention? It's going to be just him and Daddy, no little brothers joining along. I think that might have been, honestly, what closed the deal. It was just one-on-one time. So it was amazing, Dad Squad. And you know what? I don't have a crystal ball. I can't necessarily predict how your son will respond to that offer. But I've talked to a number of dads, and a number of us are here gathered. And you know what? Collectively, we've pulled together some feedback on how this conversation has gone. And if you would like some scripts, some pointers on how to begin that conversation, go ahead and post here in the comments that you'd love something, and we'll pull together a document. We'll absolutely pull that and send it off your way. But what you can do right now, even lacking that, you can go to runwithmyson.com. Right now it's there, and you can grab our free training plan. That's going to give you some starter confidence. At least you'll know what runs you're doing, what mileages, what times. And it is a free training plan that will take you from couch to 5K, and it is specifically geared towards youth and children. And that's what's unique about it. You don't find a lot of these out there that are for kids, but this is going to help, and it's broken down by age, 4, 5, 6, 7 on up. Whatever age and whatever fitness level you're at, it's right there in the document, and you're going to love it. So go ahead to runwithmyson.com. You can grab that training book, and it's going to give you that step-by-step approach. But the other thing that you should absolutely do, like this page, this Facebook page, turn on your notifications so that you won't miss any of our weekly live shows. They're every Friday morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you'll get all kinds of community support. You're going to get, all the time. We're going to be pulling together more and more resources. We're going to give you those conversations. We're going to give you the outlines to how to make it work. We're going to give you the tips on how to use things. And honestly, none of this is new. We're not reinventing the wheel here. We're probably telling you stuff that you've been advised before. Just simple relationship building skills, like always listen with your 2 ears twice as long and as hard as you speak with your one mouth. I mean, I know that I didn't invent that, but we're going to put reminders, that sort of thing. We're going to be continuously providing you with that so that you stay on that path, because without guidance, without a deliberateness to your plan, You know, it's just natural course that, you know, the headwinds of life, they're going to make you drift. You know what? And they're going to take you someplace which is not necessarily where you want to go. It's not where that photo from the future that's in your head is. If you want to make it to that picture, you got to stay on the right trail, Dad Squad. So stick with us, hit that subscribe or that like button, and definitely jump on there. Grab that training plan, and in the comments here, let me know what you're thinking. Any questions you might have or advice that you need. We're eager to work together and to provide that for you. Until then, have a great week. Summer is right around the corner. Perfect running weather. So I want to hear big things, and I look forward to seeing you right here next week, next Friday morning, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, Dad Squad, have a great week. Bye.